Spawning in the bottom, excuse me, in the upper left. In the blue, from Taiwan, he is Haas. And his opponent in the bottom right, in the red, the online warrior from Dragon Phoenix Gaming, he is Cure. Oh, that's right, we're on North America, which means his name is not DPG Cure, it's just Cure. Okay. So what do we got? We don't see a probe on the map just yet. I did not see what timing this pylon was. In terms of seeing whether Haas is going to maybe go for a proxy Stargate, proxy Void Ray, something like that. But everything's looking normal as of yet. Now, the only weird thing is, honestly, this gate positioning here. Generally, you would either look to wall off your the backside of a mineral line to make it a little bit harder for Reapers to get in and get out to escape in that way, or you'd wall off the Reaper Cliff, or you would wall off your natural, and none of those things are happening. So that pylon or that gateway positioning is just a little bit weird, but at the end of the day, it's really not going to make that big of a difference. As Cure for his part, it's going to open up with a Reaper Expand, so nothing too zany in game number 1. But this also does make sense, right? You open game number 1, you say, okay, we're gonna feel each other out a little bit. We're gonna say, I'm not throwing out my true mind-bending talent yet. If Cure has that, if Haas definitely has that, I'm not gonna say any if. But I'm not gonna do things that are really gonna get you too twisted up. I'm gonna see what a relatively normal game looks like. And I'm going to go from there. As I say that, Cure will drop a bunker there behind the mineral line, which is not all that weird. It does mean that Haas is going to have to invest, excuse me, in a shield battery on the natural to make sure his stalkers are able to do what they want to do. But that's just going to be it. So now, of course, the Reaper will find his way on in, and the Adept is there, which means, well, Reaper doesn't get to do anything. Oh, is this... Oh, is he going to get a probe here? No, he won't. Okay. But now, yeah, with the bunker here, we're going to need 3 stalkers is what breaks this. And there we go. Shield battery is on the way. And I like this. So we just have the Adept here. It's being a little bit of a bodyguard saying, yeah, you don't get to knock down this shield battery. And that's really all its goal is. As now there's going to be a stalker out very soon. And then we're going to have a second stalker. But look at this. Haas, I said he's not doing anything too weird yet. And I'm right, I guess, because Dark Shrine's not that weird. Something like that. Yeah, it's going to be Dark Shrine coming on in from Haas, and most likely a DT drop. But this is a build that Zest has been really loving against Terrans as of late. But okay, there we go. The bunker's going to get salvaged as, well, the probe is already, or the SCV is already abandoned ship, so this is not going to get a whole lot done. It just denied mining there from the natural for a brief period. And man, if Cure knew to go and build an armory here and go for cloaked DT drops, that would be the most 500 IQ play. Because this build that Haas has decided to go for, both Blink and DTs, there is no gas available for getting a robo, for getting any sort of detection. So you get cloaked Widow Mines, and that's just Haas trying to pull his workers every, what is it, 30 seconds? And hoping that your opponent does not get too many probes before you're able to kill him. So that's not going to be the case. So it's just going to be a standard Widow Mine drop. And well, with the pylon just about done here, DTs are getting warped on in. How many gateways do we have? It's only one, so it's only going to be one DT for the moment. And does Haas pool these? How many scans do we have? We have 1 scan. We have 2 scans. No, actually we don't. I think that was just spent. So 1 scan here on the map, but oh, the Widow Mines will find this, and they're just going to burn on top of this, the DT warping on in, but hey, DT's going to find the main base, and look at oh, I love this, actually. Haas says, oh, to hell with workers, I don't really care, I'm killing your army, because A, that means if you ever decide to scan, it doesn't matter, I'm going to kill it. B, well, with the ensuing Blink all in, well, actually not going to be all in, because it's going to be, third base is on the way here. Oh, Cure, that's really cool. So Cure's going to body block this, actually. So this 1 DT is guaranteed death, but 6 workers have died. And, well, Widow Mines, I mean, they're doing this, but they don't have the range. Some more DTs. This is actually game-ending damage, I think. This DT's getting so much. This DT's killing so much here. Haas, of course, behind this is Blink on the way. DT's getting warped on in 1 by 1. And imagine how much... Okay, I feel like we've just kind of hit that point where maybe Haas should actually be killing some economy and not just killing army. But there, now he is. Okay, he's found a mineral line, and we're starting to see, this is just this is back-breaking damage here for Cure. He's losing so much. He's lost 9 to, well, how many, 15 workers have died, and it's just going to be, okay, I don't know why he's exactly recalling that one, but, okay, that's why, there's a Raven on the white field, okay. So, Blink is done. We don't have any Robotech yet, but that's fine, we don't need it. It's just a bunch of additional gateways, it's going to be charged, and maybe eventually some upgrades. But Cure, he's in dire straits, he's down 21 workers. He's lost 15 and 12 Marines, by the way, so his counterpunch is not going to be all that powerful, as Cure is taking his 4th base at 6 minutes. I love this man. I don't want to play against him. I really don't want to play against him, but I love him nonetheless. So this drop is going to come on, and Stalker's going to blink on top of that. Widowmine goes down. And actually, Widowmines won't get targeted down. So won't get targeted down in time. 3 workers will die, but the medevac does die as well. And, I mean, there's not a world where Cure can go and counterpush this. He just has to go get a 3rd base. He lost so much of his army in trying to make that hold happen that he's just in dire straits. So 3rd base now on the way, but it's not like this is a 3rd base where you're getting a push behind that, where you're getting something done behind it. And oh, these Stalkers are going to be able to blink into the main base, and it's just, that 3rd base is going to get delayed. Meanwhile, Haas is well aware of the situation that he's in. He's got double upgrades on the way. He says, yeah, I'm rich. I'm rich, I'm famous. All women love me. All men love me. All children love me. Everyone does love me, or they want to be me if they don't love me. So he's going to get double upgrades. He's going to get charged 5 more gateways on the way. So he says, okay, now it's time for me to just really turn on the taps here. As the Reaper will find this base. No, it won't. Wait, did it see the base? No, it didn't. Okay, so he's just going to find a bunch of pylons on the map. The anti-drop defense. And this one probe will go on down, but I mean, Haas doesn't care. He's going to be able to find the Reaper? No, he won't. So the 3rd base, excuse me, this 4th base will get found. Eventually, Haas, or Cure, is going to be made aware of the fact that he is down 2 bases compared to his opponent. And he's got to do something soon, because he's down 29 workers. He's down army supply. He's going to be down tech, but 1-1's done. And this was just such a good opening here for Haas, as now we do have Haas 10 going with the army in the middle of the map, and well, you got Blink Stalkers, right? They can do a relatively good amount of work here. But I do love this from Cure. What he's going to go do is he's going to try to lure the army of Haas on into things. He's going to try to go and say, yeah, you want to jump on this, and then the tanks on the high ground are going to say, no, you really don't. Now, of course, we do have the 3rd base finally being taken here for Cure, but Haas, he's taking his 5th. He says, yeah, money. Dollar bills. Sushi, they are not playing on the Korean server because they have aggregate better ping to Singapore than they do to Korea. I think it's Cure has better ping to Korea, of course, but Haas has worse, so they both are about 79 ping to Singapore. And therefore that makes it equal. So now, of course, Haas, he does have 1-1. No 2-2 as of yet, but I mean, doesn't really matter. He is rolling in the dough. He's up 50 supply on his opponent at this point. Now, the one thing that Cure does have going for him, he's got a fantastic turtled up position. He is on 4 tanks. He's got a Raven as well. This is going to be difficult. Not impossible, but difficult for Haas to break. Although, I mean, if you're up 70 supply, I don't know how hard that's going to be, really. So he's going to run in some charge lots from the left-hand side here. He's going to try to break the main. So the goal here, of course, these charge lots, if they get some damage done, that's going to be fine, but they want to soak damage. They want the tanks to all be firing on the other side here. As now charge lots are going to get on top of things. Auto turrets are going to go down, of course, try to do what they can, but charge lot flanks coming on in, and Stalker's blinking around as well. I mean, this is a good defensive position from Cure. Don't get me wrong, and actually it is a really good defensive position from Cure. As Haas, his army supply lead, it's no longer 50, it is 20. So not the best trades. As Haas he was up massively in resources lost, and now he's very much not. Just look at that drop. But here's the thing, right? The wall is mostly down. Haas has 5 bases, Cure has 3. 2-2 is on the way. This game goes later. It's not like it gets better for Cure. Maybe this run by setup on the left-hand side here, getting ready now. I don't think this Terran army can beat these Zealots, actually. That is a lot of charge lots. Now the Stalkers are going to go on in. Blinking around here. The 1 tank will go on down. Charge lots chasing around as well. And we're starting to see the death of the tanks. Once the tanks go down, this push is, or excuse me, this defense is a whole lot less powerful. Archon's getting on top of the Marines, and yes, 1 tank is surviving. That is indubitably true. But 15 workers have died. And this is 13 Zealots warping in. That is a lot of Zealot warpins. So they're just going to go around things. Stalkers blink on in once again. EMPs are going to be nice. But as long as these tanks are going to go down, I'm not sure really all that much else matters. Now the Zealots on top of the tanks. One tank goes down. Second tank going down as well. And although, you know, still, the supplies have equalized. Supplies have equalized. That's insane. Being said though, look at this. Haas now, he's taking his opponent's bases, which I really do like. Instead of expanding onto other bases that he could reasonably take, he's going to say, look, if I can deny bases from my opponent, if this map does go to the split map scenario that Cure very clearly wants it to go to, well, every base I take, if I'm able to fully mine out of it, every base I take compared to Cure, or that Cure should have, is going to be a 2-base delta in total resources gained. And that is going to be, I mean, that's massive for Haas. And because what, each base is, actually, I should know this, but how much resource does each base in StarCraft have? So now, once again, Haas is going to try to break from it. Maybe a different angle this time, but it's just Charizard Stalker, and this is not really a great way to fight. That being said, he's got 2 upgrades, and he's got more. So actually, no, it looks like he's going to break after all. He doesn't have to go through a wall this time, so Stalkers don't have to blink around. GG Haas! The man's on fire tonight! Spawning in the upper right in the red. Up 1 game in this series off of some really fantastic DT play. He is Haas. And in the bottom left, in the red, looking to suffer from a bit of a max pack scenario here. In the bottom left, in the blue, for Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Cure. So we have an infestation of maximum peace here on the map. In game number 2 is Haas. He's dropping a gateway on his opponent's base after the gateway he dropped in his base. So he's going to look to pull a couple Zealots and try to make something of that. Cancel the command center as it does go down. And really, what we're looking at here... Okay, so it will be Reaper Expand. What the big thing, though, is whether it will be a Reaper... is this going to see that? No, it doesn't. That's a really nice move. So generally, one of the things you do with this SCV is look around the kind of the max packs-ish position and see if you can go and see whether there's a max pack build coming in. But the SCV will not see that. So we will have the opportunity here for the... actually, he's not even going to pull the Zealots. So now the Reaper here will find the main bases. Okay, wait a minute. Actually, was this first? That was the first gate. Never mind, I thought there was a gate in the main base. No, it won't. So this SCV will say, okay, wait a minute here. You are missing what you would normally expect to have. Reaper's going to go back home. And that does mean that this Reaper will be able to deal with his Zealot rather easily. And, yeah, the base is going to be delayed, but it's not going to get killed. Now, the Cyber Core will be done, though, and eventually we're going to have a Stalker out of this as well. And that's when things get a little bit dicey. Haas has just kind of clicked on the Stalker, or on the Reaper. He says, okay, well, I know how this one works. My Zealot dies. Your Reaper survives. I lose some money. But maybe I can... okay. This is going to be a bit more committed than I thought it was. As now we're going to have a couple shield batteries come on up in here. But, of course, with two Marines... and this Reaper, this is not going to work. I feel like Haas is just maybe... I don't know. Well, you know what? With the shield battery... Actually, you know what? With the shield battery on up here, this Stalker is very powerful. We'll be able to delay this command center for quite a while. And, I mean, it's only 1 Marine at a time. So there's just not a lot that this can do. This 1 Marine, this 1 Reaper is just doing no damage whatsoever. And notice, of course, Haas is targeting down the Reaper. Excuse me, the Marine, not the Reaper. So with that being the case, I mean, it just means that the Reaper can't really take advantage of its superior regeneration to make something happen. So eventually we're going to have some tanks here, but this is actually getting a lot of damage done. I'm sitting here and I'm like, yeah, why is he going for the shield batteries? I don't think it's going to work, but it is. It's absolutely working. And behind this, of course, we do have a Twilight Council on the way. And if Haas goes DTs again, I'm going to be one happy man, sad man. Go enjoy your coffee, Samo Sidekick. Coffee is... I feel like my life would be much better if I enjoyed coffee. I'm very much a tea man. But, you know, you get much more caffeine if you drink coffee. So, there is that. And it's gonna... Oh! We're gonna have DTs immediately injected on into the veins here of Cure. This is fantastic. I love this. Cure is such a fun player to watch. Such a fun player to get to cast. Alright, so the Stalkers, they're going to go home. Because we have a tank. I really like keeping... I kind of think you want to keep the Stalkers here so you can have that warp in position. Wait, is that a bait? No, it's not. Okay. So we're going to have another proxy go on in, of this time a little bit further away. So as not to make Cure think that he is safe. Because being safe is a misnomer when you're playing against Haas. So what do we got here? We have enough for 1 scan. We have enough for... Actually going to be 3 scans pretty soon. So Cure is saving energy. He says, okay, I know how this one works out. He did it to me in game 1. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Well, you know what, Cure, you may be fooled. You may be shamed. But, oh, yeah, he's learned. Cure has learned here. There's an eBay on the way. We should see some missile turrets. And that will allow... Oh, it's going to be Raven. Yeah, this is Cure realizing what's happening. He's like, DTs. I died to him once. Never again. But DT's already warping on in, so there is going to be a timing here where the DTs will be able to get something done. But, of course, let's see. No scan there. We have 2 scans, soon to be 3. So DT1 is going to find its way on into the main base. DT2 in the natural. Cure's going to get a scan on both, actually. And that's going to get nothing done. Nice! Oh, that was a really good scan placement, actually. So game number 1, Haas got a lot done with those Dark Templar. Welcome back, Samo Sidekick. Glad you're here. You missed out on some Dark Templar that got literally nothing done, but I think, honestly, Haas is still pretty happy. He was able to kill 5 SCVs. He delayed this command center for forever. He forced maybe Cure to make some units he didn't want to make. We have triple forge. Okay, there we go. Yeah, okay. Double forge on the way. It's not going to be triple forge. I was going to say, man, Haas, are you going like 3 upgrades here? Like, that's a greedy boy. I mean, yes, you're in a good economic position in this game. You're in a good macro position in this game. But that's still very greedy, and I'm not sure I would do it. That's a bit spooky. So now we're going to have the Stalkers move across the map here. They do have Blink. But there's no War Prism with this, so I don't really expect to see a ton of aggression go on up here. So it's just going to kill as much as you can. Maybe get a supply depot. Maybe do something else here. Stalkers will just tank some damage. And there we go. We're just going to see some supply depots go on down. It's not going to... excuse me. It's not going to supply block Cure. But I will get him close to that. And it's 100 minerals each. So maybe, just maybe that's going to make it for the lack of the DTs. With the loss of the DTs. I don't think so, though. We have a Raven on in the natural... Oh, no, it's a landed Viking on the 3rd base. That's pretty cool. So Vikings, of course, do a really good job of killing off probes. So 4 probes will go on down. But Haas, he still has got the 10-worker lead. He still has 2-2 on the way at a rate that is far faster than what his Terran opponent is doing. And Cure is going for a +1 stim combat shield timing. I think. I mean, +1 stim combat shields are on the way, but it's 8 minutes. At 7:30, and he's got his 3rd base on the way, of course, but everything is just going to be late once again. I mean, the naturals, if we go by the theory that everything's going to be late because it was a proxy build and everything gets delayed a little bit, sure, that's fine. But, I mean, then the 3rd base is early, so... I don't know. I don't know if Cure's actually going to look to get aggressive here, or he's just going to go and say, you know what, it's fine. So now 1-1 is just about done. Haas is taking his 4th base. He's getting 2-2 on the way as well. And Cure is going to try to get some Wintermine drops to work. But, I mean, there's a lot of vision here on the map for Haas. Man, Haas is looking really good. And I'm not just saying... I mean, it's not just like Cure is playing bad. He's not. I mean, maybe game 1, I kind of questioned his decisions. But Haas has looked very good. He's looked on point. He's doing all the small things that you really got to do to make games look good. And yes, he's playing out of an advantage every time. So that Wintermine drop's going to go on. And while Haas have the pull on this one, yeah, he's fine. Okay. Haas is doing all the little things. And yes, he's playing these games from an advantage. But at the end of the day, you still got to do it. Now the medevac, that's the word, will go on down. And this other Wintermine should die as well, with extreme prejudice. So what I'm looking for here is, we talked about how this map is relatively choked up as the game did start. And that makes a lot of sense, right? There are a lot of disposable rock or destructible rocks. And yeah, this again, Wintermine drops at 9 minutes into the game. Haas is very well aware of things. Stalkers are going to blink on top of this. And hey, they're going to get a probe. They're going to get a Stalker. I think a probe went down. But these are not getting the damage that Cure needs. So now Cure, he's down 20 workers. He is up on army supply for the time being. Haas is going to get a 5th base as he's like, oh, well, hey, you know what? You're pinned back. And really the question that we're looking at here is whether Cure is going to be able to make something happen with this army. It's a whole lot more powerful than he had previously. In the previous game, he really was hurting. He lost a lot of his army to the harassment from Haas, and he was only able to sit back, try to defend that 3rd base. This game, though, it's looking like he may have a bit more opportunity as he is up 16 army supply. Granted, he will be down on upgrades for quite a while, but he's up on army supply, and he has a powerful army. So, well, as I say that, more warpins. And with the tank sieging up on the high ground, okay, so the armor shredder missile is going to be massive here, but it's going to go down on part of the Terran army as well. Stalkers blinking on forward. They're going to knock down 1 Raven, and the question really here is whether the army can chew, or whether Haas's army can chew through the army of Cure. It looks like the answer is just barely no, but it's not a terrible engagement, right? It's just most of the stuff that just died there was actually some DTs, but most of it was just mineral units. Haas has more than enough mineral units, right? He's got minerals for days. He has 5 bases. He's on 74 workers. He's totally fine. And now he has a 1 upgrade lead. He's soon to have a 2 upgrade lead, as Cure has not even gotten +1 armor. Does he have 2 eBays? He does, but he just, there we go, +1 armor is now on the way. And Haas now, he's going to warp in once again. More and more Archons, more and more charge lots. He is in a very good spot, and there are no tanks on the map here. Yes, there are some Widow Mines, and that's going to be nice. But, I mean, this is a scary position here. This base is just going to go down, yeah. Haas is just going to target the base down, and now I don't think he really cares as long as he doesn't lose, you know, game-ending amounts of units. He's going to be totally fine. He has warpins. He has lots of warpins here, and so Cure is going to try to cut him off at the head. But again, these are heavily upgraded zealots. They will take the fight in a favorable manner here. As an Archon, well, it's going to stay alive for the time being. It's going to get picked on up here. And you know what? Cure, he has a lot. I am starting to get a little bit worried here for Haas as the rally of Cure does go on in. But make no mistake about it, Cure is all in. As long as Haas can hold, he's going to win this game. That being said, though, it's easier said than done here, but more and more Zealots are going to run on in. Widowmine shots are going to be very nice. All of the Zealots are going to go on down. But the supply gap, it is ever so slowly shrinking. Well, as I say that, it's not really. But, oh, that's a lot of warpins. 10 Zealots are going to move on in here. But the Tylon's going to go down. Half of those warpins are not going to complete. But, of course, he's just going to do it from the natural. Haas is okay if he loses this base. I mean, he doesn't want to, sure. But, again, his opponent's on 2 bases. His opponent has half the workers that he does. So, as long as Haas is able to stabilize, and he's soon going to have a 2 upgrade lead once again. He's going to have +3 to +1. But now, okay, the SCVs have been pulled here. This is starting to get a little bit scary here. We don't have any Storm. We don't have anything like that. No I think there is a Templar Archives. Actually, no, there isn't. All the Archons are just coming from DTs. And you know what? I would love to see some DT warp in on in because there's not a lot of scans. There is 1 scan here in the main. There's 1 scan. Actually, there's just 1 scan in the main. So a DT hold here would be really nice. The Raven, of course, was targeted down. And Haas does have the money for it. Actually, Haas is more than enough money here. The only issue is whether he can spend it because, of course, he only has 13 gateways. That being said, though, as the longer this game goes on, the supply gap is narrowing. Yes, Haas did lose some workers in the main base, or excuse me, in the 3rd base. Yes, his 3rd base is starting to go down, but Haas, as he continues to warp in more Zealots, he continues to warp in, actually not just really Zealots, he is slowly narrowing the supply gap. It was 40 on Army Supply, now it's 20. So the longer this goes, the better it is, of course, for him. Those Widow Mines are going to get really nice. Once again, Haas is going to try to drag some of the Widow Mines on top of the army because, really, this army is overstimmed. The medevacs are tapped out. The amount of healing that Cure has available to him at this point is not nearly as much as he previously had. So Stalkers are going to blink forward. Medevacs are going to go down, and Cure has not been building more. He has not been building more medevacs. What you see is what you get at this point. Actually, I guess he's got a couple more here, but there's not a whole lot here. Stalkers are going to blink forward, try to target down these medevacs, and be unsuccessful. But that's just going to be it. Yeah, Cure doesn't have enough. GG. Haas is going up 2-0. And here we are spawning in the bottom left in the red. He is representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, looking to claw his way back to a Game 5. He is Cure. And in the upper right, in the blue, the man who has looked absolutely dominant in this entire tournament, from Taiwan, Haas. Now we have Cure looking to put a little bit of points back on the board here. It's going to be a Proxy Reaper, I believe. Well, actually, no, that's a second SCV. Never mind. Proxy 2 Rex coming on up from the man who once played 24 hours straight to qualify for IEM Katowice. So we know he has the endurance. Oh, is this a 3-Rex? Oh, I can't remember the last time I saw 3-Rex against a Protoss player. So this is pretty cool. If Haas is able to scout it, he's going to be in a good spot. If he's not, though, if he does not scout this, he's going to be in it for a world of trouble, because you need to react to this with more than just a couple shield batteries and an expand build. You need, I want to say, I mean, you need to add a couple additional gateways. You need to be able to put yourself in a position where you can make that hold happen. So it's going to be gate into, or excuse me, going to be Nexus into Cyber. And I mean, Haas is not scouting this. But it looks like he has some kind of proxy ideas of his own here. That is a weird spot for that pylon, or I guess some tech ideas for that pylon. Oh, it's an SCV pull too. It's an SCV pull as well. This is Cure. You know, I mean, if this doesn't work, he's dead very clearly. But this is a really cool all-in coming on in. And look at this Haas. He hasn't even built anything. Now there's an Adept on the way, but you need Zealots for this. You need something to make this fight happen. And now, oh no, Haas is gonna have a sinking feeling. He's gonna see he's gonna see the SCV. Actually, no, he's not. Now we can see the SCV. He's like, oh, hell, what is happening here? And, of course, Kiri's just going to target down the pylon. He says, yep, that's what I got to do. So a probe pull will happen. But Haas does have more workers than his opponent does. But now the Adept's out. And maybe with... Oh, he's going to get some of these Marines rather cheaply. But it's, of course, 3 Marines versus 1 Adept and a bunch of probes. However, does Haas have enough? Okay, the Adept goes down immediately. Second Adept getting chronoed out, of course. And it looks like, yeah, it's not going to be enough Cure. Going for the biggest all-in plays. The biggest of balls. Spawning in the bottom right, in the blue. He is representing himself and himself alone. And also up 2-1 against Cure, one of the greatest online players to play the game. Can he take it here? Can he take it to a clean 3-1? We're going to find out as, well, spawning in the bottom right, in the blue, he's Haas. And his opponent in the upper left in the red, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, looking to come storming all the way back. No proxies this time. He is Cure. So Haas, a little paranoid about this game. We see him sending out a probe on the map immediately. As he's like, I don't want to deal with that shenanigans anymore. I don't want to die. So that's exactly what he's going to try to make happen here. Is actually the 2 scouts will pass in the night. So Cure is not aware that Haas is scouting. Haas is not aware that Cure is scouting. Not that it really matters. Scout timings. Of all the things that you can scout, yes, it's useful. It can tell you what time a Nexus goes, what time buildings go down, for example, what type of build it is, whether it's gate expand or whether it's a cyber expand. But at the end of the day, it's not as important as, say, finding an SCV that is proxying a barracks or finding a probe that's proxying a pylon. So that is, I mean, on the kind of the hierarchy of needs, seeing whether your opponent is scouting or not. Well, you're gonna see it anyways, right? You're gonna see when the Adept or when the SCV, when the probe finds its way on into your base. So Haas, he's playing his most standard build thus far. I don't see any early Twilight. I don't see any proxy Stargate. I don't see anything proxied. Actually, Haas saying, look, you know what? I played some funky games. Maybe the True Cheese is playing a game straight up. Now, honestly, I don't like Haas's chances in a straight up game. I think he'd just die. I think Cure probably kills him because I think from a purely mechanical sense, Cure is just a step, maybe half a step, better than Haas. As Cure, he says, okay, well, you know what, you're not going to proxy. I'm going to. Proxy Starport, pretty much as close to Haas's base as he can make it. And this will be some Hellion drops coming on in. Which, you know what, honestly, Haas, he's got the perfect opener for this. He is going to go for, one is probably maybe Oracle into Phoenix, or maybe just straight Phoenix. And, well, anyway, Stargate opener, Phoenix opener is really good against this dropper, or this Hellion drop play, because you can just lift the Hellions and, excuse me, Well, if the Hellions are lifted, they're not taking any damage. Actually, yeah, this is just going to be straight into Phoenix. I love this here for Haas. Even as I was talking about, maybe his macro game, his standard straight-up game is maybe not as powerful as Zests or Traps, for example. It's still probably going to be good enough that if he has a build order counter, he will be able to execute. So it will be 4 Hellions going to go across the map here. And that does mean that the Phoenix are maybe not quite as useful as they normally would be because, well, actually, we're going to have 2 Phoenix out, so no big deal. The point being that when it's a 3 Hellion drop is what kind of the original build here that TY was doing. You go and you lift up 1 Hellion, and suddenly it's just not nearly as impactful, right? Because it's 3 Hellions, 1 shot, 2 Hellions, half to 2 shots. So the Phoenix will find this. Oh, Kier's going to, or excuse me, Haas is going to find that immediately. We're going to see 1 lift. You got to lift the second one. There we go. Now there's a lift, so a lot less damage potential already. A couple workers will go on down here, but with the Adepts on in, yeah, it's not going to be nearly as impactful. Yeah, this is going to get, oh, you know what? It's going to get 7 workers, actually. And 8 is the number that you're looking for off of a proxy Hellion, so getting 7 is not terrible, but it's also not nearly as good as I thought Haas was going to do. I thought Haas was really going to be able to get a lot more done with that, especially because he had 3 Phoenix up rather quickly. He had units in position. But now this Reaper is, its doom is foretold. Run away, little Reaper. It's not going to work. Okay. So behind the, oh, this is really, yeah, okay, so this is the Zest build. Okay, this is what's happening here. More, we're going to see a lot of Phoenix. We're probably going to see 8 or 9 Phoenix. And behind this, it's going to be Charge. It's going to be Charge-led Archon with Phoenix overhead to establish dominance, to lift up any tanks, to knock off any medevacs. And that's kind of antithetical to the standard Phoenix play, because generally you would go Phoenix into Colossus because, oh, wait a minute. Never mind. This is very cool. I don't know if it's going to work, but Haas is going to go on into Glaive Adept. So it's going to be Phoenix Glaive. And I think I've seen this just about once, and I think it was Haas that was doing it. I think Haas won that game, but I don't really know how this is supposed to work out here. But saying Haas wins with Haas builds, I mean, that's not exactly a revelation. So, of course, we do have the Phoenix marauding around. There are 5. There will probably be more. Again, this is probably 6, 7, 8. Glaives are just about halfway done. And, I mean, Kier's got a wall. Did he lose another Phoenix? Okay, just the one. Kier has a wall. So, Glaives are not really going to be able to get a lot of damage done. Now, the timing here, I think, is you shade on in when your opponent is trying to take a 3rd. As Kier has gone for 1-1. Does he have a 3rd base? Does he have a 3rd command center, I should say? He does. Okay, so this is the timing when he tries to secure his 3rd base, and when there's not really a wall, you shade on in with, you know, 20 Glaive Adepts, and you just eviscerate the Terran army. So how many gateways do we have? We have 7, and there will be 8. So it's going to be 8 gate Glaive Adepts off of 3 bases. So, I mean, Haas does have a backup plan if this does fail, but it's not going to be a great one. But now Glaives are done. We do have the army. It's going to show on up here, and we should see the Glaives be released momentarily. And now, of course, the tank's not going to do anything. Oh, there we go. Here come the shades. And, oh, man, what is Kier going to do about this? This is such a fantastic build. This is so cool. It's perfectly timed. The army's going to go down. The medevacs, well, it's going to go down here with the tank inside of it. Tank won't get saved. The 3rd base is going to be forced to lift. And what does Kier do here? Yeah, he can turtle up behind that, but he's never gonna get his 3rd base. Glaives, the Adepts can actually just knock this down. And, well, okay, maybe some Widow Mines are going to be good here, but we're going to see some splits. They're just getting on top of the army. Widow Mine shot's going to go off, but the Adepts are on top of the army, so it doesn't really matter here. Everything is dying, and Kier, what does he have left? He doesn't have anything. GG! Haas, he's going to take it in 4 games. Once again, the builds, the plays. Haas, he's a genius. A mad scientist. I love it.